बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम। कैसे हैं आप? दिस इज़ लेक्चर नंबर 12। लेट्स स्टार्ट। So first we take review of previous lecture. In last lecture we discussed empirical relationship among mean, median and mode, and we discussed percentiles, quartiles and deciles. It is usually desirable to divide the data into different parts or different portions. If we divide the data into 100 equal parts, then each part is called a percentile. And instead of dividing the data into 100 equal parts, if we divide it into 4 equal parts, then each part is called quartile. And similarly, if we divide the data into 10 equal parts, then each part is called a decile. So let us discuss the objectives of today's lecture. So in the current lecture, we will use Microsoft Excel spreadsheet program to calculate mean, median, mode, geometric mean and harmonic mean. So it means we will use MS Excel to calculate all measures of central tendency. And then we will also use MS Excel to calculate percentiles, quartiles and deciles as well. So let's start and let's start MS Excel spreadsheet. So here is our data. We want to calculate arithmetic mean. So look at this data. We have 10 numbers 1, 2, 3 up to 10. This is ungrouped data. We are interested in calculating arithmetic mean. Remember that arithmetic mean is calculated by adding all the numbers and then dividing the sum by the total number of observations. So let us do it in Microsoft Excel. So label this column as X and then the data 1, 2, 3 so on up to 10. So this is our data. We want to calculate arithmetic mean. So in order to calculate arithmetic mean, we will add all these numbers. So let me write here total. So we will use the sum functions to add up all these numbers. So sum of D6 to D15. So it will add the numbers in cell D6 and D6 to D16. So just press enter. So this is summation X, sum of all X numbers. So all numbers in column X. And then arithmetic mean, it is summation X over N. So it means we have to divide this summation X by total number of observations. So currently in our data set we have 10 observations. So summation X divided by 10, so we get 5.5. So 5.5 is the arithmetic mean or X bar, which is summation X over N. So suppose we have some other data set 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 1, 3, 4. So just count total number of observations. So just select the data. Here in the name box we can see that it is saying that there are 14 rows and 1 column. So 14 rows and 1 column have been selected here. So it means there are total 14 data points. So we are interested in calculating arithmetic mean of this ungrouped data. So label it as X, and then in order to calculate arithmetic mean, so just mention here total, which can be obtained by using the sum function summation X, which is sum of G6 to G19. Press enter. So this is summation X or sum of all numbers in X, and then arithmetic mean is this summation X divided by total number of observation, which is 14. So we get 4.785 as arithmetic mean. So there is one built-in function which we can also use to calculate arithmetic mean, which is the average function. So instead of using this formula, that is first finding the sum and then dividing by the total number of observations, we can directly calculate the arithmetic mean by using the average formula. So let me write here alternative method. So using Excel built-in command, so we have the average function. So average function means we want to take the average. Average means sum of observations divided by total number of observations which are being summed. So average of these numbers, and this range starts from G6 to G19. So when we press enter, we will get the same result, 4.785. So press enter. So you can see that whether you use this formula or this one, the built-in function, average function, we get the same result. So this is how to calculate arithmetic mean for ungrouped data in Microsoft Excel. So now we discuss one example from the grouped data. So here is the grouped data. So we have classes in our first column and the corresponding frequencies in the next column. So we are interested in calculating arithmetic mean of this grouped data. So note that the range of first class is from 11 to 20, and it contains 3 individuals, and second class starts from 21 and goes up to 30. There are 6 individuals, and similarly the fifth class, the last one, starts from 51, goes up to 60, and its frequency is 2. So we are interested in calculating arithmetic mean of this data. So note that arithmetic mean for grouped data is calculated by, it is summation fx whole divided by summation f, where f is the frequency of the class and x is the midterm or midpoint, x is the midpoint, or also called class mark. So note that formula for calculating arithmetic mean in case of group data is x bar equals summation fx over summation f. So it means if we are provided with group data, so we need to calculate this x, which represents the midpoint or class mark, and the sum of total frequencies summation f, and then we have to calculate the product f and x, and then summation fx. So this is the formula. So let us see how we can apply this formula in Microsoft Excel. So here is the group data. So in Excel, just construct a column labeled as lower class limit, and here we will place the lower class limit of each class, 11, 21, 31, 41 and 51. In the next column, label the next column as upper class limit, and in this column just copy the upper class limits of each class. So 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. So in next column just copy the frequencies as it is. So once we have this data set, we can calculate the midpoint x. So in order to calculate midpoint, we know that it is the sum of lower class limit and the upper class limit divided by 2. So lower class limit, it is lower class limit of first class located in Q15, and then the upper class limit of first class, it is in R15. So add these two numbers divided by 2. So Excel will add the numbers in Q15 and R15, and then it will divide the sum by 2. So this is how to calculate the midpoint. So it is 11 plus 20 divided by 2, we get 15.5. So just take your mouse cursor to bottom right corner of this box and drag it down. So you can see that the formula is automatically adjusted for the rest of the cells. So this midpoint, the next one, it is the sum of Q16 and R16 divided by 2. And next we have Q17, R17 divided by 2. And last one, Q19 plus R19 divided by 2. So this is how to calculate this midpoint, which is sum of lower and upper class limit divided by 2. So once we have the midpoint, so next step is to calculate this product f and x. So f is the frequency and x is the midpoint. So f into x mean we have to multiply this entry f, which is located in S15, put steric for multiplication, and then x, which is in T15. So S15 cross T15. So steric is used for multiplication in MS Excel. So this will give us the product of 3 times 15.5. So we get 46.5. So just take your mouse cursor to bottom right corner of this box and then drag it downward. So here you can see that it is S19 steric T19. So we get the product of f and x. So here it is S16 and T16. So this is how to calculate fx, and in the last column we need to calculate summation f, which is sum of frequencies, also called total frequency, and summation fx, the sum of this column, which is product of f and x. So just label here as total So just use the sum function, sum. So sum of frequencies S15 to S19, press enter. So this is summation f, and here we have to use the same command. So just put an equal sign and just type sum of U15 to U19. So we will get summation fx. So this is summation fx. Here we have summation f. So now just divide this summation fx divided by summation f, we get arithmetic mean. So arithmetic mean is summation fx over summation f. So we can calculate it as summation fx divided by summation f, which is in S20. So U20 divided by S20, we will get this arithmetic mean for this group data. So arithmetic mean for the group data is 33.5. So this is how we can use MS Excel to calculate arithmetic mean for the grouped data as well as for the ungrouped data. So now let us calculate the weighted arithmetic mean in Microsoft Excel. So here in MS Excel we have the data of expenditure on different items and their corresponding weights. So as far as the first item food is concerned, expenditure in rupees 290 and the weight of this item is 7.5. For the rent, expenditure is 54, the weight is 2. In clothing, 98 is the expenditure, 1.5 is its weight. Fuel and light, 75 is the expenditure, 1 is weight. Other items expenditure is 75 and weight is 0.5. So we are interested in calculating the weighted arithmetic mean. So since weights are also provided, it gives the importance of each of these items. So currently we can see that the maximum weight is given to the food, so which is obviously clear that food is the most important element. And then next weightage, which is 2, which is highest among the rest of 4 items, is given to the rent, and next clothing and fuel, light, and 0.5 to other items. So I have labeled the expenditure by X or XI and the weights as W or WI. So if we put subscript I here, so it represents the expenditure of each item, where I ranges from 1 to 5, because here we have 5 items. So similarly, we have WIs, the corresponding weights. So W1 is the weight of first item, W2 is the weight of second item, and so on. So in order to calculate weighted arithmetic mean, we know that the formula for calculating weighted arithmetic mean is summation Wx divided by summation W. So it is summation W, which is sum of these weights, and then in the numerator we have summation Wx. So it means we need to calculate this product W times X, and then we have to take the sum of this column Wx in order to get this summation Wx, which is the numerator in this formula. So let us first calculate this product Wx. So in order to calculate the product, first put an equal sign, and then W is in Z7 times X, which is in Y7. So Z7 Y7, we will get Wx. Press enter. So here is the product of 290 times 7.5, and then copy it down throughout. So we can see that Z8 Y8 and so on, last one is Z11 and Y11. So once we have this formula in hand, we can calculate the sum. So just use the sum command to calculate summation W. So sum of the elements which are occurring in Z7 to Z11. So Z7 to Z11, press enter, we get summation W, and then take your mouse cursor to bottom right corner and drag this towards right. So you can see that it gives us the sum of AA7 to AA11. So this number from the first number to the last number. So there is no need to retype this sum formula again and again. So you can drag the formula horizontally as well as vertically as required. So here I have just dragged this towards horizontal direction, and we get the sum of, and in this formula automatically it got adjusted, and we get the sum of next column. So summation Wx. So press enter. So here is summation W and summation Wx. We can label it as total. So okay. So once we have this formula in hand, so now summation Wx divided by summation W. So A12 divided by Z12. So we get weighted mean or weighted arithmetic mean. Press enter. So weighted arithmetic mean is 203.4. So we can say that average expenditure which is spent on all these items, average expenditure is 203.4, and since the unit which is used is rupees, so we can say that it is 203.4 rupees. So this is how to calculate weighted arithmetic mean using MS Excel. So next we discuss how we can calculate combined arithmetic mean in Microsoft Excel. So here we have data of different sections A, B and C, and we have number of students in each section and their mean height in inches in each section. So number of students in section A are 40 and their mean height in the same section A is 62 inches. And similarly in section B, number of students are 37, mean height is 58 inches, and number of students in section C is 43 and the mean height is 61. So since we are interested in combined mean, so remember that combined mean is x bar C. It is n1 times x1 bar plus n2 times x2 bar plus n3 times x3 bar. So since we have only 3 sections here, so it means this first one will be our n1 in this case. So next one will be n2 and this one will be n3. So similarly here we have this is, since we have the mean height, so this is x1 bar, the second one x2 bar, third one is x3 bar. So in order to calculate combined mean, so just multiply, just create another column n times x bar. So I'm just using x bar, just writing x bar instead of writing it in symbolic notations. So it means this n1 times x1 bar, and here just copy this down, so it is n2 times x2 bar, and in the next row we have n3 times x3 bar. So in other words, I have calculated this product n1 x1 bar, n2 x2 bar, n3 x3 bar. So n1 x1 bar, n2 x2 bar, and n3 x3 bar. So now in order to calculate this combined mean, we need to add these three products. So it means if we calculate the sum of this column, we get the numerator of this x bar c combined mean. So just put an equal sign and use the sum formula. So remember that you can use the small letters or the capital letters to write the Excel commands. So Excel is case insensitive. You can use either small letters or capital letters, it doesn't matter. So that is called case insensitive. You can use small case letters or capital letters. So sum, so this is the numerator, that n1 x1 bar plus n2 x2 bar plus n3 x3 bar. So divided by n1 plus n2 plus n3. n1 which is 40 plus n2 which is 37 and n3 which is 43. So it means we need to calculate this sum as well. So sum of AI7 to AI9. So this gives us the denominator. So once we have these numbers, we can calculate combined mean here. So it is this divided by this n1 plus n2 plus n3. So press enter. So the combined mean is 60.4083. So this is how to calculate combined arithmetic mean in Microsoft Excel. So now we are interested in calculating median for the grouped data as well as for the ungrouped data in Microsoft Excel. So here in our Excel spreadsheet we have the data, so it is ungrouped data. So and we have odd number of observations are odd. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 numbers. So we are interested in calculating the median. So remember that the first step in calculating the median is to arrange the data. So but here in Microsoft Excel there is no need to arrange the data. So anyway, we can cross check our results by arranging the data as well. So here we have 5 numbers, all are in arranged form. So since 5 is an odd number, so the middle number is the median. So in this case 3 is the median. So because 50% of the data, that is 2 numbers, they lie before this number 3, and 2 numbers, the number 4 and 5, they lie after number 3. So 3 should be the median. So let us calculate the median using Microsoft Excel. So in Excel we have the built-in function for calculating median, and the built-in function is median. So here just type the median in full, and remember that you can use the capital letters or small letters, and here the Excel tooltip is saying that this command returns the median or the number in the middle of the set of given numbers. So in the middle of set of given numbers mean it returns the middle number in the sorted data. So next select the data range. So AO6 to AO10. So AO6 to AO10. So this will just press enter, you will get the median, and the answer should be 3. So here it is, we have the median, which is 3. So now let us consider another example where we have even number of observations. So in case of even number of observations, now currently we have 1, 2, 3 up to 6 numbers. So we have 6 numbers, so it means number of observations are now even. So we are interested in calculating the median. So remember that since the data is in sorted form, so we can see that median is the average of the middle two numbers. So it is the average of 3 and 4. So why? Because we have even number of observations. So 3 plus 4, 7 divided by 2, which is 3.5. So it means the median should be 3.5. So let us calculate the median using Excel built-in function. So put an equal sign and then type median and then select the data range. So currently the data range is, it starts from AR6 and it goes up to AR11. So AR6 to AR11, press enter. So you can see that here we get the same result, 3.5, which is average of the middle two numbers, since we have even number of observations here. So this is how we can use MS Excel to calculate median for the ungrouped data. So next we discuss how we can calculate median for the grouped data. So here is the frequency distribution. So we have the lower class limit of first class 11, the upper class limit 20, and the corresponding frequency 3. And similarly we have the last class 51 to 60 with corresponding frequency 2. So we are interested in calculating the median for this grouped data. So in order to calculate median, remember that first we need to calculate the class boundaries. So I am inserting two columns here and I am typing here lower class boundary and here upper class boundary. So remember that class boundaries, they are calculated by taking the difference of lower limit of second class and the upper limit of first class. So 21 minus 20, so we get 1, and then divide the difference, this difference, by 2, we get 0.5. And remember that we have to subtract the 0.5 from each of the lower limits to get lower class boundary, and we have to add this number to upper class limits, so to get upper class boundary. So here in order to get lower class boundary, so first put an equal sign, H8 is the lower limit of first class minus 0.5. So this will give us the lower class boundary of the first class. And here just put an equal sign and upper class boundary, which is I8, and add 0.5 to this upper class limit, we will get upper class boundary. So once we have the lower class boundary and the upper class boundary, so select both columns via mouse, then take your mouse cursor to bottom right corner and drag it down. So here you can see that this 0.5 is subtracted from the lower class limit and the same 0.5 is added to the upper class limit. So we get the lower and upper class boundaries. So once we have the lower and upper class boundaries, the next step is to calculate the cumulative frequency. So just type here cumulative frequencies or CF. So in order to calculate cumulative frequency, write the first frequency as it is. So just put an equal sign and then the cell address of this first frequency, L8. And here we need to add this number 6 with the previous number. So L9 plus this one. So it will give us the sum of these two numbers. Then copy it down. So we get this 9 plus 5, 14. Then copy it down throughout. So we get this 14 plus 4, that is 18. And then this L12 and M11, which is 18 plus 2, we get 20. And note that this last number, this should match with total frequency, which is sum of L8 to L12. So this is how to calculate this cumulative frequency column. So once we have this data, so that's it. So now we can calculate the median. So remember that the median is the position of n by tooth item. So where n is the total frequency. So currently in our data set, the total frequency is 20. So the median will be, it is 20 by 2, which is 10. So it means median is the position of this 10th item. So we need to calculate this number 10 in cumulative frequency column. So as far as this first cumulative frequency is concerned, it is number 3. So it is not covering this number 10. So in next row we have number 9. So again this 10 is not being covered in this range. So in order to calculate median, we need to locate this number 10 in the cumulative frequency column. So as far as the first cumulative frequency is concerned, it is 3. So it is not covering this number 10. So 3 is less than this number 10. So as far as this second is cumulative frequency is concerned, it is 9, which is again, it is not covering the number 10 because 9 is less than 10. As far as the next number, which is 14, is concerned, it is covering this number 10. So we will say that this is our median class. So just locate this number in the cumulative frequencies. So the cumulative frequency where this number falls will be our median class. So this is our median class. So this is our median class. So in order to calculate median, we need to calculate L, which is lower class boundary of the median class. So L is lower class boundary, which is here. H is the class interval, which in this case is the difference of any two consecutive terms, which is 10. F is the frequency of the median class, which is 5 here. So just write it here. N is same as total frequency, which is this 20 here. And next number C, which is the cumulative frequency preceding the median class. So this is median class, cumulative frequency preceding median class is 9. So just type 9 here. So now we need to use the formula for the median in order to calculate it. So median is, it is L plus H over F. So L plus H over F. So H over F times n by 2 minus C. So this is the formula for the median. So L plus H over F times n by 2 minus C. So I've just written all the numbers and just put them in the formula. So just press enter, you will get the median for the grouped data. So median is 32.5. So this is how to calculate median for the grouped data. So next we discuss how we can use MS Excel to calculate mode. So we first discuss how to calculate mode for the ungrouped data. And here is the example of single mode. There are different commands in Excel to detect one mode or the multiple modes. So currently here is our data. So we have the observation number 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 6, 8, 9. So from this data we can see that 6 is occurring 2 times, which is more than any other number. So we can, from this overview of data, we can see that 6 is the mode. So in order to calculate mode using MS Excel built-in function, so we can use the command. So command is mode so here is the command. So mode AW6 to AW13. So just press enter, so you get 6. So this is the mode for this data set. So now let us consider another data set having multiple modes. So we have 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 6, 8, 9. So we can see that number 2 and number 6, these are the 2 modes in this data set. So in order to calculate the both the modes, we can use Excel built-in function, but this command is available only in Microsoft Excel 2010 and higher versions. It is not available in 2007 version, which is currently being used here in this lecture. So in Microsoft 2012 version, so just select the full data range and then type mode.mult and then select this full data set, and then remember that you need to press Ctrl Shift Enter simultaneously to get the required modes. So but since currently I am using 2007 version, so this command is not available in this version. So you can try this command in the advanced version. So currently, in order to calculate the mode of this data set, so there is no need to use this command, so just use only the mode command. So but problem with this command is that it will detect only the first mode and it will skip the rest of the modes if any exist other than the first mode in the data. So anyway, so in order to calculate multiple modes in a data set, so first select all the cells and then put an equal sign and then type mode MULT and then the data range. And remember that you have to press Ctrl Shift Enter simultaneously. Unfortunately, I am using 2007 version, so I am not using this command, but you should try it. And so currently I am using the simple command mode. So press enter, you will get this one single mode, which is 2. Or we can also use this same command throughout. So select all the cell, so mode, the full data, Ctrl Shift Enter. So you can see that currently you are seeing the same number. So but if we are using 2010 version or higher version, so then the answer should look like this, 2 and 6. So these are the 2 modes, and here we will get NA for not applicable, so we can get certain other results. So it means there are only 2 modes in the data, and rest of the cells on the rest of the cells this command is not applicable. So because we don't know whether we have 2 modes or 3 modes or multiple modes in data, or 4 modes, 5 modes, so better is to first select all the cells and next type the command equal mode.mult and then within parentheses the full range and select and press Ctrl Shift Enter simultaneously. So this is how to calculate multiple modes in MS Excel. So now in order to calculate mode for the grouped data, consider the same data which we have used in order to calculate median for the group data. So this is the same data. So we have the lower class limits, the upper class limits, and the lower class boundaries and the upper class boundaries and the frequencies. So we are interested in calculating mode of this data. So in order to calculate mode, first we need to observe the modal class. So remember that mode represents the most frequent value. So it means the modal class will be the class with highest frequency. So in the frequency column, so just look at the maximum frequency. So maximum frequency is 6. So it means this is our modal class. So this is the modal class. And remember that its formula is L is the lower class boundary of the modal class, which is 20.5 in this case. H is the class interval, 20 in this case. Fm is the frequency of the modal class, which is 6. So F1, frequency of the class preceding the modal class, so which is 3. And F2 is the frequency of the modal class following the modal class, after the modal class. So we have the frequency 5. So now we have this data in hand. So in order to calculate mode for this group data, so we can use the formula L plus Fm minus F1 so times H, and then whole divided by, so I'm using one parenthesis extra, whole divided by Fm minus F1 plus Fm minus F2. And remember that I have used this double parenthesis because I want that Excel should find this sum first and then divide this full expression with this whole term. So that's it. It is L plus Fm minus F1 times H whole divided by Fm minus F1 plus Fm minus F2. So pressing enter, we get the mode for the grouped data. So it is 35.5. You can compare this mode with the median and the mean. So mode is 35.5 and the median was 32.5, and for the same data set arithmetic mean was 33.5. So comparatively they are around the same. So there's slight difference between the three. So this is how to calculate mode for the grouped data. So next we discuss how we can calculate geometric mean using MS Excel. So first we discuss the ungrouped data case. So here is the ungrouped data. So we have different numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are interested in calculating the geometric mean of these 5 numbers. So in order to calculate geometric mean using MS Excel, so we have built-in function which is geomean. So geomean for geometric mean. So BG6 to BG10, press enter. So here is the geometric mean, which is 3.7279. And suppose we want to find the geometric mean of these numbers. So we can again type geomean and then the required cell range of which we want to calculate geometric mean. So BI6 to BI14. and press enter. So the geometric mean of these numbers is 4.74. So we have the built-in function geomean. So in order which we can use to calculate geometric mean. So now there is an alternative method using logarithms and anti-log formula, and note that the formula is x bar g is anti-log of 1 over n log of summation log xi. So here suppose we have the same numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So label all these numbers with x. So now we are interested in using geometric mean by this formula. So it means we need to create a new column with name log x. So log x, so it means just type log and then the corresponding cell bk6, and here we have the log bk7 and so on. In the end we have log bk10. So once we have the log, then next step is to calculate this summation log x, and then we have to divide this sum by n. So in this case we have 5 numbers. So it means just type this formula sum bl6 to bl10 slash 5. So it will calculate summation log x divided by n, which is 5 in our case. So press enter, you will get this term, and in the end we need to calculate anti-log of this term 0.57. So remember that if we have 10 raised to power y equals x, this means that log x to the base 10 equals y. So in order to calculate anti-log, so we need to calculate, in order to calculate this x, so x is anti-log of y or it is 10 raised to power y. So in short, since here we have this summation log x over n and we are interested in calculating anti-log of this number 0.57. So in Excel, in order to calculate anti-log, so just take 10 raised to power this number. So 10 raised to power BL11. Press enter, you get 3.72, which is the same number which we got earlier using the geomean command. So this is how to calculate geometric mean for the ungrouped data in MS Excel. So next we discuss how to calculate geometric mean for the grouped data. So here is the frequency distribution of weights in grams of different students. So 65 to 84 is the first class having 9 students. So there are 9 students having weight between from 65 grams to 84 grams, and in the end we have 5 students having weight from 185 grams to 204 grams. So I have just arranged the data weights and I have put the data in this form: lower class limits 65, 85, 105, so on, and the upper class limits here 84, 104, 124 and so on. And in next column we have the same frequencies which are given here in the above frequency distribution. So we are interested in calculating the geometric mean. So note that in case of grouped data, the geometric mean is anti-log of 1 over n summation fi log xi. So it means first we need to calculate xi, which represents the midpoint, and then we will take log xi, log of midpoint, and then we will find this product f into log xi, and then we will find the summation and then divide the summation by n, and in the end anti-log. So in order to calculate this, first we calculate this midpoint x, and remember that midpoint is the sum of lower and the upper class limits divided by 2. So BS17 and BT17 divided by 2, so we get 74 copies downward. So here is the midpoint, and in next column log of x, so log of this BV17. So just copy it down as well. So you can see that it is log of BV18, and in the end log of BV23. And in the last column we have this f times this log x, so BU17 times BW17. So f times log x. Press enter, copy this down throughout. So here we calculated fi log xi. So now if we take the sum, so this is summation fi log xi. So divide this sum by n. So remember that in this case this n is the total frequency. So n is summation f, which is 60. So here I am dividing both terms, so this divided by this, so we get 1 over n times summation fi log xi. So in order to calculate geometric mean, we need to calculate antilog of this number. So antilog is 10 raised to power this number. So this will be the geometric mean of this grouped data. So the geometric mean is 117.70. So this is how to calculate geometric mean for the grouped data. So next we discuss how we can use MS Excel to calculate harmonic mean. So for the ungrouped data as well as for the group data. So let us consider this simple data 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in order to calculate harmonic mean, again we have the built-in command in Excel. So it is harmean is the command, and within parentheses the required cell range. So harmean CA6 to CA10, press enter. So this is the harmonic mean. Similarly, if we have some bigger data set, we can use the same command, harmean CC6 to CC14. So press enter, we get the harmonic mean of this data. So now the alternative way is, remember that harmonic mean x bar h is n over summation 1 over xi. So it is reciprocal of the arithmetic mean of reciprocal of the values. So here just label this data 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by x, and using this formula calculate 1 over x. So 1 over x mean 1 divided by this number, which is in CF6. So copy this command downward. So we get 1 over x. Now according to this formula we need to calculate summation 1 over x. So use the sum command to calculate summation 1 over x. So this is summation 1 over x. So n divided by summation 1 over x. So n is, in this data count the numbers, we here in this case we have 5 numbers. So 5 divided by summation 1 over x, which is 1.45, located in cell CG11. By pressing enter we get the harmonic mean, and remember that this number 3.4482 is same as this number. So you can use this method using direct formula or using Excel built-in command, which is harmean. So next we discuss how we can calculate harmonic mean for the grouped data. So again consider the frequency distribution of weights in grams of different students. So here is the data, weights, lower class limits and upper class limits, and the frequencies. and we need to calculate the midpoint, so which is sum of lower and upper class limits divided by 2, and then we need to calculate 1 over x, so 1 divided by this midpoint Cn 17, and then in the end we have to multiply this f with 1 over x, so Cm 17 steric CO 17. Press enter. So next select all these three columns and copy them downward. So you can see that this midpoint is calculated, and this 1 over x, and here we have f times 1 over x. So once we have this result, so in the end just apply this formula. It is summation fi divided by summation fi times 1 over xi. So it means calculate summation fi or sum of frequencies using the sum command. So this is summation f, and here use the same command to calculate summation f times 1 over x. So in order to calculate harmonic mean using this formula, we need to divide summation f by summation f times 1 over x, which is 0.53. So press enter. So our harmonic mean is 113.1139. So this is how to calculate harmonic mean for this data set. So next we discuss how we can use MS Excel to calculate quartiles. So here is the data. So we have 10 data points, 1, 2, 3 up to 10. So we are interested in calculating quartiles. So in order to calculate quartiles for the grouped data, the command is quartile, and now it is asking to provide two arguments. First one is the array, second one is quart. So array is the list of values or the data values of which we want to find the quartile. So in the array just provide the data range and put comma and then quart. Quart is the required quartile. So if you are interested in calculating first quartile, just type 1. If you are interested in calculating second quartile, just type 2. Or if you are interested in calculating third quartile, just put 3. So currently I want to calculate first quartile, so use 1. So here is the first quartile. In order to calculate second quartile, so just provide the path and 2. 2 is the second quartile. And remember that we can also calculate the median, which is same as second quartile. So just select the full data range, press enter. This should be the same number as Q2, which is 5.5. So here it is. So we have the same number, median is same as Q2. So in order to calculate third quartile, so just provide the data range and put 3. Press enter. So this is our third quartile. So now we discuss how to calculate percentiles. So we have provided with this data set. So in order to calculate percentile for this group data, we have the built-in command, which is percentile. It is asking me to provide the data array and the k. K is the required percentile. So in the data array, provide the data path, after comma provide the number k, which is the required percentile. So suppose I am interested in finding the 25th percentile. So in order to calculate percentile, so if you are interested in finding the percentile, this k should be between 0 and 1. So in order to calculate 25th percentile, you need to type 0.25 for the 25th percentile. So press enter. It is 3.5. So 25th percentile is same as the first quartile. So since we are using the same data, so the number should be same. So similarly, if we are interested in finding the 75th percentile, so we can select the data, and for 75th percentile either write 0.75 or you can type 75 and put the percent sign. So 75th percentile, so this is same as Q3. So this is how to calculate percentiles. So now we discuss how to calculate deciles in MS Excel. So since deciles are the same as percentiles, so the command is same. There is no command in MS Excel for the deciles. We can use the percentile command in order to calculate deciles. So just type percentile and then this required cell, and suppose we are interested in calculating the first decile, so we can select 10%. So this is the first decile, and similarly for second decile you can use 20%, for third 30%, and so on. So this is how we can calculate percentiles, quartiles and deciles in MS Excel. So let us review the main concepts which we have discovered in today's session. In today's sessions, we have discussed how we can use MS Excel to calculate mean, median, mode, geometric mean and harmonic mean for the group data as well as for the ungrouped data. And we have also discussed how we can use MS Excel to calculate percentiles and quartiles as well as the deciles. In next lecture, we will discuss measures of dispersion. Currently, we have been discussing the measures of central tendency, which is that just use one data point which measures the center of the data set and which is used to describe the whole set of data points. But in the next lecture, we will discuss that how the data is spreaded around this central value. That is called the measures which is used to measure the spread of the data are called measures of dispersion. So in next lecture we will discuss the range, the semi-interquartile range and the quartile deviation, and mean deviation or the average deviations. So till then, Allah Hafiz.